this is what a lot of people are getting wrong when it comes to scaling a YouTube channel and a business that no one is talking about, that's literally preventing them from creating something that's in alignment and that they absolutely love. I don't know if you've heard, but a lot of YouTubers and entrepreneurs are actually quitting because they're falling into this trap. I actually heard Vanessa Lau's video this morning about why she left her business and her YouTube channel that was literally earning her over 7 figures because she fell into the trap that I'm about to share with you today. By the way, if you're someone who's ready to create an aligned business and YouTube channel in 2024, go ahead and drop a hashtag I'm a creator down below. I want to see who you are. So the trap that a lot of people are falling into is that, first off, they're realizing that the ad platforms aren't providing them with sustainable income. And so what they're doing instead is they're building a business around their YouTube channel. So they're offering courses, coaching, different agency services, and this is what Vanessa was doing. And so the trap that people are falling into is that they start to gain traction and they start to hire people and they start to scale. A lot of people actually also do brand sponsorships, they do different affiliate programs, and the trap is that they start to become more of a manager and less of a creator. So Vanessa was saying that she was a manager of her team and she felt like she was so restricted. And so I see a lot of YouTubers and creators, they become a slave to their team, to different brand sponsorships, to the ad platforms. And so what this does is it puts a lot of pressure on them and it actually waters down their authenticity. And so they start to lose themselves. Even Vanessa was saying that she wasn't fully being present with herself. She wasn't being true to herself. And she had to sacrifice the things in life that really matter, like her physical health. She was saying that she was gaining weight, she was having heart problems, which is really scary. She also said that she had to sacrifice her relationships with her friends, with her family, and she also fell into the trap of comparing herself to others. She felt like she had to create an agency because all these other high achievers were doing it, all these other YouTubers and entrepreneurs. And so she really had to also maintain an image. So a lot of these people, when they become wealthy, they get a nice car, they get a nice house. Nothing wrong with wanting nice things. However, they fall into a trap where now they need to maintain those things. They have to maintain their image. And before they realize, and Vanessa said this, they're no longer in a 9-to-5, but rather in a 24/7. Which in my opinion is actually worse. I actually created a whole video about why content creation is a new 9-to-5 trap, if you want to check that out. But there are ways out. And so my message for you in this video, I'm not saying don't hire. I'm not saying don't scale. Absolutely do those things because you want to leverage your time and you don't want to always be trading time for money. It's okay to scale, but not at the expense of losing yourself. It's not worth it. And I'm telling you, I started to fall into this trap as well. And I was always making videos that were too scripted, that weren't real. They weren't even videos that I wanted to create. They weren't topics that I was passionate about. They didn't get me out of bed in the morning. They kept me in bed. And so if you don't know, I'm in the same niche as Vanessa Lau. So I help, somewhat similar. I help entrepreneurs to spread their message and to grow their business using YouTube. So mainly with sales of courses, coaching, and memberships. And it's not one of those schemy things where I help coaches how to coach coaches, how to coach coaches. No, my clients are so passionate about things that I'm passionate about, like teaching people how to be happy, the arts, health, things that really matter, things that really move the world and change people's lives. And so, I reached 6 figures in my business using this channel. And again, I caught myself falling into that trap, but I'm so glad that I came out of that trap because I would rather have 3,000 subscribers than 300,000 of subscribers of people who don't like the real version of me, who like some watered down, censored version of me. And I'm comfortable with this. I'm comfortable with being less scripted. I'm comfortable with the lighting not being as good or the audio not being as good. And I like that because I get to take control. If I did what Vanessa did, and I respect Vanessa, but she had coaches and consultants tell her follow the script. You have to use this exact thumbnail. The lighting needs to be perfect. I would hate that. I'd be like, no, shut the fuck up. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, And I like that. I like doing what I like. I like talking about what I like. I like the fact that I have clients who respect my time. They're not blowing up my phone and they're not so needy, you know, like of course I support them along the way, but they're not needy, they respect me. I get to spend time with my boyfriend later. It's Valentine's Day. I don't need to stress out about clients or a team or paying payroll, and I love that. I actually do have a couple people who I've hired, but they're more so like freelancers, and so it gives me the freedom, and I like that fact. And you know, if you don't know, like happiness actually comes like on a bell curve. So picture like a bell curve, and happiness is on the y-axis, and then wealth is on the x-axis. So there's a bell curve. So the more money you earn, you start to become happier, but you reach a tipping point where you're not fulfilled. And the reason for that is because with more money comes more responsibility and more, I don't want to say more problems, but more problems can arise. Like, oh, like someone sues you, oh crap, that's not going to make you happy. And so as long as you can pay your bills and you have like enough left over to where like you're comfortable, you know, you have like good savings, like good investments, like you're going to be fine. And the way I see life, picture life like a canvas, white canvas. And all the different areas of your life are like different colors. Maybe YouTube is red, business is orange, friends and family yellow. You know, like you have romance, pink, you have physical health, green, you know, all these different colors. Like your life should be like a canvas of all these different colors. If your life is just YouTube, just business, those people are not happy. It's a common trend. So many millionaires and billionaires kill themselves because they're not happy. My mentor, Ty Lopez, he's not a billionaire, but he said he's been around billionaires, and he was saying like, oh boy, those people are not happy. Like they're miserable, and like their wives leave them, they get sued, all this stuff. And I'm not saying don't strive big. You should absolutely have ambitious goals and dreams, but this is the trap that I don't want you to fall into. So it's really important, because if you truly want to create a YouTube channel and a business that's in alignment, this is what you should do. And you should also have like a bigger mission and a bigger purpose. I mentioned before on this channel that my big mission is to protect the oceans, because it's what I studied in college, and it's what I feel like I came here to do. And so I want to now donate a shit ton of money to the oceans, and that's a bigger mission behind my channel. Is I want to get to a point where I can donate 90% of my profits to the ocean in different like research projects. So yeah, like I like having that. And the cool thing about YouTube is that it leads to opportunities in real life. I don't know if you saw, but I just interviewed Gary Vee in my last video. Check it out. It's so cool. I think that's where my inspiration is coming from right now, because he's so authentic and so genuine in person. The way he smiled at me, like, so warm. So Gary Vee's a good guy, by the way. But he's a bit of a potty mouth, but still, he's authentic. And so what was I saying? I like the fact that this leads to opportunities in real life. You know, I like the fact that I get to be me. And I really encourage you, it's good to model success. It's good to model it, but don't be a straight up copycat. One of my peers, his name is Sebastian, he has a YouTube channel and a business about health. He helps young men to stop binge eating, and he put on his Instagram story yesterday how someone copied his exact bio, someone, you know, got in a fake discovery call with him to try to figure out the way he runs his business. Like, oh my God, ew, like, that's so like, don't be a copycat, like find your unique voice. Again, it's good to model people. I've modeled like thumbnails and titles before, but like the content itself, like the way like you run it, it needs to be in alignment with you. And so you're never going to be happy and successful by doing it that way. By the way, so by the way, like I want to talk to all of you. You may be wondering like, oh, like, you know, if I'm not authentic, then I'm not going to get the views that I want. I'm not going to get the subscribers. And there is truth that there is a science behind like following a script. There is a science behind like, you know, like having good thumbnails and everything. And so I want to talk to you how like you could still be authentic and still get the sales that you want for your business. So I'm talking to people who are using their YouTube channel to grow a business. So the way that you get high ticket sales, regardless of the number of views, is by three things. And this does apply to YouTube, but other platforms as well. The thing that matters the most is really like, you got to communicate the transformation that you provide for people. A lot of people miss the boat there. They say like, oh yeah, I have a course, I have a membership, it comes with different training modules, it comes with, you know, one-on-one for an hour. Nobody buys that. Those are features. You have to communicate the transformation. So like in my content, you know, I'm always mentioning my clients and just saying like, yeah, like my client Dominique, she earned 10K in 3 weeks and she's able to support her young baby. She's able to live abroad comfortably. That's the transformation. You see that? Like, you see how her life transformed. She has another baby on the way. She gets to support her. My client Dulce earned 3K in her first week with me. That's the client that she attracted. And then also, she loves animals, and now she gets to focus mainly on communicating with animals because that's what she's passionate about. That's the transformation. My client Brad got to leave his 9-to-5 job. He was in the drawing niche. My client Kimberly is super passionate about knitting, 12x return in the first month. And she gets to focus on knitting. So that is the transformation. That's what people are really investing in. So that's what you got to do in your content, is communicate the transformation. Another thing that you have to do is you have to firmly stand behind the investment that you're presenting. So first off, you want to choose an investment that's fair to you. A lot of people are undercharging. And so when you choose an investment option that's fair to you, a lot of people are afraid to do that because they're like, oh, what if this person says no? What if I lose the lead? What if I lose the sale? And so you get people to say yes by firmly standing behind your pricing. Be comfortable and confident when you're presenting it. Because if you're insecure, if you're not sure, if you're uncertain that you can get the person the result, they can feel that and they're going to say no. And the third thing that you have to do is you have to attract an abundant audience. So when I'm talking to all of you, you know, I'm talking to people who, I'm really talking to the empowered individual in my content. So, you know, I'm saying things like, if you're ready to create something that's in alignment, if you're ready to take responsibility, all these things, you attract what you put out. So that's why I attract clients who take responsibility, who respect me, because that's how I present myself in my content, and those are my standards, which are very clear. I don't talk to the dabblers. I don't talk to people in scarcity energy. If I did, I'd be like, oh, like, are you like tired of not getting views? Like, it's okay. Like, you know, like, I'm sure you had a rough child. You know, like, no, I'm not gonna. If you talk that way in your content, you're gonna attract people who are more so in victim mentality versus people who see themselves as the victor. You want to attract people who see themselves as a victor. They take responsibility. They own their shit. They show up, they do the work, and they don't look for reasons not to. You don't want to attract people who hold your hand. And I don't care if your video gets 5 views. You can get more traction than someone who gets 500 views and who doesn't do those things. So I just wanted to give you those insights because I know I talked a lot in this video about me and Vanessa and how we were able to build 6-7 figure business around our channel. But I will say, and I have so much respect for Vanessa, I think the way that I did it created more lasting fulfillment in me, and it's more sustainable. You know, like, I don't know Vanessa personally, but she did not seem happy when she had her 7-figure business. I even noticed in her content that she didn't seem super authentic. It was a bit too scripted, a bit too edited. And she wasn't being her. She used to be like really funny, really authentic, but again, I respect her. She's a human being. And I tell you all this so that you can carry on those insights and not fall into the trap that is content creation. So yeah, everyone, if you're new to this, if you're brand spanking new, you're exploring YouTube and entrepreneurship, then I do encourage you to check out my Clarity to Cash program. That does come with the option for me to coach you along the way via Feedback Friday. That's where I send you like an audio recording, and the audio will help you to answer your questions, help you where you're at, overcome hurdles, and to get to that next level where you're earning money. If you're already earning money, then I do encourage you to apply for my YouTube Business Accelerator. And that's where I will truly to help you to get to that next level. And not just get to the next level, but to create a YouTube channel and a business that's in alignment with you and fulfills your higher mission and purpose with abundant money in the bank. Because that's the thing, like, we can't show up as our best selves if we can't even pay our bills and have a bunch left over for the people who we care about. So that's what I'm here to help you to do. And of course, hopefully, you know, if you show up, if you do the work, that will lead to opportunities in real life. I told you that. I got to interview Gary Vee. And for you, maybe it's like speaking gigs in real life, maybe it's different collaborations, different events, different friendships, different partners. So yeah, I'm just really excited. By the way, before you go, check out that interview by Gary Vee that I did. It's really, really awesome. And thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.